Many print-on-demand sellers are breaking Etsy's rules right now, potentially without even knowing it. And the problem is, you might not get a warning at first. You might just wake up one day to your listings being removed, your payments on hold, or your entire shop being suspended. In this video, I want to walk you through the biggest Etsy seller policy mistakes specifically for print-on-demand sellers, and more importantly, what not to do so you can protect your store while you scale. I've been selling print-on-demand since 2017 across platforms like Etsy and Amazon, and I've seen firsthand how strict enforcement has gotten, especially over the last couple years, so even small mistakes can snowball into serious issues. Let's start with one of the biggest ones. The first mistake is trademark and copyright violations, and this is by far the fastest way to get your listings or your account taken down. A lot of sellers think this only applies to big brands, but it's actually way more common than that, because even simple phrases can get trademarked, and using them on your designs can get you flagged by their automated system, so you don't even have to get reported by the trademark owner. Even something that feels harmless like a trending phrase, a meme, or something you saw selling well might already be protected. And just saying inspired by does not protect you, okay? That is a good defense, but unfortunately, that's not gonna win you any points with Etsy if you get your listing removed. So what you should be doing instead is verifying before you create anything. At a minimum, you should check the USPTO database on the United States Patent and Trademark Office by searching the exact phrase you plan to use. And again, do that before you make any designs. If you wanna take it a step further, my go-to niche research tool for Amazon, Merch Dominator, also has a really robust trademark tool that you can use to search not just the USPTO, but international markets or trademark offices as well. As you can see here, you've got the USPTO, but you've got Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and Japan. You can search all of them at the same time. The UK, by the way, the EU, and the WIPO, I'm not even familiar what that is. By the way, you can also search by keyword or by product. So I think keyword searching is the most popular. I'm gonna leave it on phrase match. And let's say I'm selling a programming shirt. So I might search for something like hello world, which is, if you've ever learned to program, it's usually like the first output that you learn in any programming language. And I can see here by a quick search that there are 2 applications for hello world in the class 2.5, which is the primary. It's not the only class that we have to look for as print-on-demand sellers, but that's certainly a primary one. So again, right away, we see something that we need to look out for. And we can see that it's in the US Trademark Office, which is the primary market that I'm uploading to and selling through on Etsy. This is one of those things where spending an extra 30 seconds up front can save your entire shop. And I believe print on demand is a long-term business model, so it's definitely worth it in my opinion. The second mistake is misleading mockups. And this is one that a lot of sellers don't even realize they're doing. If your mockup does not accurately represent what the customer is gonna receive, you're putting yourself at risk. That includes things like over-edited colors, unrealistic textures, or showing product features that aren't actually part of the product. By the way, this will also result in negative reviews, which is another red flag potentially to Etsy that they might want to review your seller account, and you want to stay off their radar. If anything, you want to be a star seller. You want to be on their radar in a good way. So Etsy expects your listing images to reflect the real product as closely as possible. This is why I recommend using the mockups provided directly through Printify. They're designed to accurately represent the actual product that gets fulfilled, and they're safe to use for Etsy print-on-demand listings. It also reduces returns and bad reviews, which indirectly protects your account health. Now, I do know that to stand out, you're probably going to want to also add some additional mockups, and Etsy's usually a great marketplace to find product mockups. You just have to be very careful about how you go about creating those mockups on your own time, and again, making sure that you adhere to all the rules, guys, because account safety has to come first in terms of the hierarchy. The third mistake is not being transparent about your production partners. If you're using print on demand, which most of us are, you're required to disclose your production partner on Etsy. Trying to hide it is making a huge mistake. Etsy allows print on demand under their Handmade policy. I think they made that change back in like 2018, but only if you're the one creating the design and you're transparent about how the product's being produced. So make sure you've properly added your production partner in your shop settings. Once it's added, it's very easy to apply, and you can even apply it in bulk in your listings manager. The fourth mistake is listing mass-produced items as handmade. This is where things get a little gray, but it's important to understand. You're allowed to sell print-on-demand products as handmade if you created the design. What's not allowed is reselling generic designs that you didn't create and passing them off as handmade. So if you're just uploading stock designs or copying what other sellers are doing, this can put your shop at risk. This is why original design work and customization is so important long-term. And you know Etsy loves personalized, customizable orders. So that's something you can lean into if you're worried about potentially getting in trouble. The fifth mistake is inaccurate shipping and processing times. And this one causes a lot of problems, especially in the fourth quarter. A lot of sellers set aggressive processing times to try and increase conversions, but they don't account for real fulfillment timelines. If your orders are consistently shipping late, Etsy notices that. This can impact your shop's performance and lead to penalties and, of course, unhappy customers. What I recommend doing is factoring in real production timelines from your supplier, and one thing you can do is monitor Printify's fulfillment status page to see current production speeds across their network. Printify has a network fulfillment status page that I'll link to below this video. If you scroll down to the bottom, well, you can see here all systems are go, everything's working as expected, some experiencing delays, but they have a massive network. But this gives you real data that you can trust, and they do update it to allow us to set those realistic expectations and avoid late shipments. For instance, I'm usually using the US-based print provider, so I can go ahead and expand that with one click, and we can see here the print provider name in the first column, the current status in the middle column, and the production time estimate there in the third column. You got to make sure that your Etsy handling times reflect this. The sixth mistake is misleading SEO and keyword stuffing. Some sellers try to game the system by adding unrelated keywords just to get more traffic, but Etsy's algorithm is built around relevance and buyer experience. So if your listing doesn't match what the customer is expecting, it can actually hurt your performance, and it's also pretty easy to track using things like conversion rate versus click-through rate. If you're not converting but you're generating a lot of clicks, it may imply you've got a misleading mockup, for instance, or misleading keywords. Anything along those lines, guys, it's able to sniff out at scale, again, just using basic programming on the back end. So instead, us as sellers need to focus on accurate, relevant keywords. And one advantage if you're using Printify is that they now give you daily AI credits that you can use to generate optimized titles, descriptions, and keywords for your listings. So instead of guessing, you can actually leverage that to stay compliant while improving, in many cases, your SEO. The seventh mistake is creating duplicate listings or spammy variations. This is when sellers try to flood their shop with nearly identical listings with slight changes to try to dominate search results. I actually do like this strategy on Amazon, by the way, but you got to be careful about no duplicate titles specifically. But we're talking about Etsy today. So you don't want this to backfire and trigger something like visibility suppression, which will cause a drop off in sales or even account reviews. Instead, I recommend using Printify's new multi-product listing feature. This new feature allows you to combine multiple products or variations into a single listing on Etsy. This not only keeps your shop cleaner and more compliant, but it saves you money because it helps you avoid that 20-cent listing renewal fee that we pay every 4 months. So let me show you how this works. I'm here in My Products. Make sure your Etsy shop is selected in Printify, or I don't think you get this option. Then select 2 complementary products. Like I did this demo in a video not too long ago where I had a bachelorette party shirts where I had the bride shirt and then the other shirt said the girls. I'm gonna select both of those. Once I select them, you notice this button becomes available that says create multi-product listing. I'm gonna go ahead and click that, and it's gonna allow me to do just that. I can set a title now for the combined listing. I can use the description here, and by the way, the AI optimized listing option is available as well. So I can go ahead and do that and set your tags, set your listing attributes, things like primary color, secondary color, clothing style, all that stuff that feeds through to Etsy to improve your SEO. And then down here, of course, you can set up your variation names. Now, this relates to the drop downs that are available on an Etsy listing. There's a maximum 2 drop downs available. So you can essentially control how these variations show up in the drop down. Now, in this case, I would say the bride and I would say the girls, right? Because that's the main difference between these 2 shirts. That one shirt says the bride and one shirt says the girls. And then Printify is going to add the rest of the relevant information, meaning like the size of the shirt and the color of the shirt, even though this is a pretty straightforward one because I'm only offering each design in one shirt color. After that, you set up your shipping preferences, all that normal stuff, your pricing, and you send it over to Etsy. If you thought those were strict, just understand that Etsy's continuing to tighten enforcement, especially as more print-on-demand sellers flood the platform. The good news is that if you follow these rules, you're actually putting yourself ahead of most of your competition that are cutting corners. If you want, I can break down exactly how to safely scale your Etsy print-on-demand store without risking your account. Just let me know in the comments and I'll make that video next. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you're subscribed because I post print-on-demand strategies like this regularly, and I hope to see you at the next one.